I want to gift you two things. Not only am I going to pay for your annual membership, $199. If you book an appointment tonight for one day this week and answer the phone when they call you, godsmoney.info, go click book an appointment. When you do that, I'm going to pay your first year membership, $199, the next 10 people. But also, as a free gift, we just got in the Charlie Kirk coin. We just got it in, and I'm going to send you one in the mail for anyone that books their appointment this week. If I could get that to focus is what I'm trying to do. You see how beautiful this coin is. For some reason, there it is. If you want that Charlie Kirk coin, not only will I pay your annual membership, I will put one in the mail for you so that you can have that forever in your collection. No telling what that will be worth one of these days.
Just watched, there was a false pastor, Shane Vaughn, up to his grifting as usual and giving you a Charlie Kirk coin if you sign up for some membership, whatever thing he had going on. It's all a scam. We won't get into him. But I want you to stay with this message because there's several clips that you need to see. You don't want to miss this. And before I go any further, someone made a comment that, oh, we can't trust anyone that makes a video in a car because a lot of false prophets make videos in the car. Now, I've never heard that. You know, I make videos however and whenever I can because I work nights, for starters, for those of you that's been following me for a while. And on top of it, my wife works at home. I got retired neighbors that are working in the yard. There's always something going on. So I make videos whenever I can. So let's brush that aside for there. But I want you to see this Charlie Kirk thing, how far an extreme has gone and how this devil has really ramped it up and how he is coming after these youth. And I believe that the youth are headed for a lake of fire, eternal separation from our Lord, and many others because of this turning point thing. We talked about it in a previous video there about this whole turning point being a false revival, that patriotism is a false conversion of the Christian experience. And now you're going to see, as I show you this clip, that I want to make 2 points out of these clips. I want you to see where we're going with this. So let's look at Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, that's running for governor in my state of Ohio. Oh my goodness. He's running and he's at the turning point, representing turning point because he's been part of this whole thing as well. And listen to what this people are saying, the youth, to him.
You call yourself a Hindu, but you also call yourself Christian.
I don't call myself Christian. I call myself a Hindu.
Okay. So based on what the turning point's values are, which is Christianity,
do you think it's inappropriate for someone who's a Hindu to be, say, a U.S. president?
No, I think it's... No, well...
You be honest.
Isn't Hinduism... Well, I mean, I can ask yourself that Hinduism believes in Shiva and, what is it? The flute God, I forget.
Right, Krishna, who's you're thinking of.
Yeah, Krishna.
So the one thing for you to take away from, about my faith is, I'm an ethical monotheist. I believe in one true God, the Advaita philosophy of Vedanta. And I think that as you think about the Holy Trinity and what that means for, you're not a polytheist either. That's a similar philosophy. And I'd love to kind of continue that over a religious dinner conversation sometime. But
you also call yourself a Hindu as well.
I am a Hindu. I am a Hindu.
How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
You see that? He's an Indian. He's a Hindu. And that, did you catch the young kid talking about this nation built on a Christianity, built by Christians. All of this false information is what it is. And we'll deal with that in another message, because we have to stick. I'm going to continue to pound this. I'm not going to let these false teachers, false pastors, false messengers for Christ get away with continuing to tell people that America was founded and rooted in Christianity. I'm not going to let them get away with that. And we're going to stay on that. But as you see there, Vivek Ramaswamy, he sat there and think, oh, I've rubbed elbows with all of these Christian nationalist extremists. Many of them are white nationalists. You know, they go hand in hand, this whole movement.
The right is two things. It is Christian nationalism and white nationalism. Blending those two things together is the project that we are engaged upon right now. Those two things equal America.
And he thinks, oh, I'm part of the crowd. Well, he's really not, because Ann Coulter told him so. Listen here.
I, too, am a fan of yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
What do you mean he is Indian? He is born in USA and a citizen by birth. This is proof that even if you are born in this country and parrot all the conservative talking points, you are still not American if you are not white. The Constitution says no religious test, but that was for a different America than the one Kirk built and Ramaswamy tried to join. The real question isn't whether a Hindu can be governor, but whether America will allow Christian nationalism to redefine what it means to be American.
And as you see there, it boils down to the color of the skin. They supposedly identify as Christian, but then they let somebody in their convention do this.
Tu thakar tum pe ardas jiyo pind sab teri ras tum mat pita hum barak tere tumri kirpa main sukh knere koi na jane tumra ant uchete. Dear Waheguru, our one true God, we thank you for creating America as a unique haven on this earth where all people are free to worship according to their faith. We seek your blessings and guidance for our beloved country. Please bless our people with wisdom as they vote in the upcoming election.
You didn't hear outrage from pastors with that Hindu prayer or whatever was going on at that time, because they're so desperate for power. That's what this thing is about. Power. A power grab and control. They want to control you. People, they feel like anyone of color is second-class citizens. And it doesn't matter. They're going to try to figure out a way to say you're not an American. Just like they're doing Vivek Ramaswamy.
Like Vivek Haji. What's
Ramaswamy.
I had said it.
He's Indian.
Wow. He's Indian. I like Johnny Quest. But the point was, saying Haji real quick, just to cover that. No, I don't want him to be president.
Right.
It's America.
Yeah.
It's America. Okay. But anyways, and he's Hindu.
Right.
He is Haji. He's not wearing the turban, but he's Hindu. I stand by Haji. So anyways, Vivek, he's going to say God and pass it off.
Yep.
Because he knows he's in America with, at least nominal Christian audience.
And because he went to a Catholic school. So he knows what he's saying when he says that to Americans. He knows what he is connoting.
But he'll say God a lot more than he's going to say
100%,
Jesus.
100%.
Whereas J.D. Vance, who's Catholic, now, to be fair, isn't he married to a Hindu?
Yeah.
He's married to a female Haji.
And it goes. And J.D. Vance has put himself in the hole with this thing, too, because his wife is not an American, in their eyes, is not an American. As you see the fun being made, let's look at this clip here first. Back when Nikki Haley was running, and this white nationalist guy, can't think of his daggone name, that that talks crazy, as you see the clip here, he's going to talk about Nikki Haley. And then we're going to look at Nick Fuentes talk about J.D. Vance and his wife. Take a look at these clips so you can see what I'm talking about.
Her humiliation hasn't been reserved for the ballot box, as Nikki Haley's multiple affairs against her military husband have come back to the surface to haunt her. She's been widely derided among her former colleagues and supporters as a disgusting whore. She's been exposed as a fake Christian who pimps Christianity for votes while taking part in third world Sikh rituals because she's an Indian, not an American.
Can you imagine a country where this is Thanksgiving? Can you imagine if your children got married into a family like this and this was your Thanksgiving? What if you didn't have a lot of family? I don't have a lot of family. And what if your spouse or your children had a background like this? Your children got married into a family like this, or you married into a family like this, and this was your Thanksgiving every year. This was your Thanksgiving. This was your Christmas Eve. Maybe there isn't even a Christmas. There's certainly, if there is, there's no Mass. Certainly there's no Easter. Imagine if these are your holidays, these are your people, this is your community. Could you imagine how that would feel as a white person? How would it feel as a white person to be the only white face at the party, to be the only native English speaker, to be the only person with generations in a particular city? What would that feel like? What would that be like? To be the outsider, to be the alien, to be the other in your own country, on your own holiday.
You see that? Stu Peters is his name, is the guy that's talking about Nikki Haley. A hateful guy that runs around with his cross on his neck and professes like he loves the Lord of some sort. But all of these folks are promoting white nationalism is really what they're doing. What they're promoting, patriotism, which is a false conversion, as we talked about. It's nothing to do with the Christianity, nothing to do with the scriptures, nothing to do with the teachings of Jesus Christ. This thing is all about, basically, this whole turning point thing is nothing but a business. It's nothing but a business. And Vivek Ramaswamy has gotten himself into this thinking it's going to benefit him some. But he's actually being made a fool out of. And anybody else of color that gets themselves involved with this is being made a fool out of. Made a fool out of, if you know, as we talked about it. It's awful funny. You know, one of the things, I didn't want to go much into the politics realm of this thing, but we have to, because Vivek's running for governor. But just think, Tim Scott, this senator, Tim Scott, has got a ton of experience. Worked on something with justice reform, something he worked on there, and it has gotten torn down, one of his bills that he sponsored and that he put up. He didn't even get a position within the White House at all. He didn't get nothing. And he sucked up as much as he could and did not get anything. This whole turning point movement is dangerous. Don't fall for the sham. They'll have you think that women, you don't put your goals aside, brush them aside. You don't have to go forward with school anymore. You don't have to worry about being in the workplace. We'd rather have you at home, having plenty of babies and being subservient to your husband. At the same time, the leader of this movement's wife, she has degrees. She's busy out there in the workforce. You see what I mean? But this is all about control. This is about domination. This is about a Taliban style of worship. It's what these folks are doing. And it's idol worship in the highest form. This movement is dangerous, and it places color and a certain group of people above others. And they don't care how they get it, how they go about it, how they do it. And they want to raise up a generation of youth to keep this thing going. And this is the danger that we have with this situation, with this event and this movement right now. And it needs to be called out, and it needs to be exposed for what it truly is. But at the same time, the devil is after souls. He's after the youth. He's after those that don't have a clear understanding of the scriptures. He's after those that want power. He's after those that support taking over other people or minimizing people in society and looking down upon those of a different color. That's what it's all about. This whole movement is dangerous. This whole movement is going to tear many people apart. And we're going to continue to call it out on this channel, Evangelism for God, where the channel where we talk about issues where the church run away from, tackle Satan and his tactics, punch him right in between the chops. My name is Maurice Braxton. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.